day, and then the weekends, you know, in the afternoon for the open. So
Oh, good. Yeah. You get off my blanket. Oh, I thought I saw somebody else joining. I don't think I'm set up right. There we go. There's Michael's.
it's Michael.
Hey, you're on my blanket. Go get yours.
He wants to be with his mother.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, keep it out.
You're outside. How great is that? How is it out there? Darlene, can you hear me?
Outside.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
It's beautiful. I'm gonna put the volume up. Yeah. If it gets too noisy, let me know though, and I'll mute because I don't hear too much now. But lawnmowers come, I'll turn mute.
Okay. All right. I'm probably going to be running the vacuum cleaner during class.
Okay.
If it's my lawn, it's not my lawn. I just did my lawn. Don't go so fast.
Well,
Oh, wait, bird, Darlene.
I think it's just, so is your dog leashed?
No, we're in a fence. We're in his fence.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Must be-
he's eating his bone. Here, let me show.
Must be a
He's right
big
there.
fence.
Oh yeah.
Oh, are you talking about like an electric fence?
Oh no, we have a fence. Well, Mike and I put it up about a month ago.
I don't even see it.
Yeah, it's there. Maybe you can see it better. Can you see the gate?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of made so that it doesn't stand out. Sort of blends in and
Yeah.
it works good.
Yeah, it looks like a swing set.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep them playing in here.
So how big is it?
I forgot. It's big enough to go around the ice rink when the ice rink is up.
Okay. All right.
It's big.
So let me ask you a question, both of you. What is the difference between pain and suffering?
Pain and suffering.
Pain would be something more physical and suffering is more mental. Like spiritual, and pain would be more your body. Suffering would be more mental.
All right. All right. Good answer. What about you, Darlene?
The right answer?
There's no.
Said something
Go ahead.
similar, that pain is something that happens, but suffering is how you deal with that pain. Is one option of dealing with that pain.
Okay. Good. So both of you are touching on the answer. Yeah, exactly. Pain is something that happens to you, is an easy way to say it. But now that you both know about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, if you gave that thought, you might actually change that answer. But at a very simple level, pain happens to you. It's usually physical. And then suffering is choice. So suffering, no matter what level you look at it, is choice. Pain, we could actually talk about. So have you, Nancy, you mentioned pain is physical, whereas suffering is mental or emotional or something like that, right? Have you ever been in a relationship, and you may have to think back on this, and he left you? Was there immediate pain, not only here in the gut?
Yes,
So-
I can remember feeling it in my gut, and I
So-
can remember feeling.
Right. So it's physical, it's mental, it's emotional, and you might say, I don't have a choice. Now we now know, because of all the stuff I've been talking about over the past few years, that first of all, I'm going to go back and say suffering is a choice. Pain is a default, depending on how you think. If you think that this situation is a problem, it might be painful. If you think it's a challenge, it might be painful, but something to work. If you think it's an opportunity or a blessing, it's not painful. Now, I'll give you an even simpler example. When I was 16, I started martial arts, sophomore in high school, started stretching, and I wanted to do not only the standard gymnastic split, but this split here, what we used to call the Chinese split, right? Just straight across. And I was working on it and working on it and working on it for months. And finally, one of the guys, one of my fellow students came over to me, and I'm in that position. He leans down and he says, you have to learn to like the pain. Now, I've never taught that using those words. I teach it differently. But I was so naive and so ignorant that I changed my mind just like that. And within 1 week, I had full splits down because the pain turned to a tickle. And I didn't know what the hell was going on back then. I didn't give it much thought because I was beautifully naive and ignorant.
Which was good at the time, probably.
So I just did it, and I didn't bring it up here. If I did, it was here, and then I put it right in my body. And the stretching literally tickled me. And I will never, ever forget that. And that's been a basis for a lot of the stuff I've done physically since then. So even pain is a choice.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't get into that in this morning's 7 a.m. class, this last aspect of it, that pain is a choice. But we definitely know suffering is a choice. In yoga, go ahead, Darlene.
No, sometimes pain, yeah, I agree. There's Deepak Chopra does a meditation where you change where your mind is on the pain, and then you take it off to some place that's not painful, and then you merge them so that the pain goes away. So it's a really interesting thing, and he says, think about where you have a sensation, not pain. He calls it a sensation.
That's right.
And so you think about that spot, and then he goes, just think about the place where you don't have a sensation. And then you go back and forth, and eventually you don't have any pain.
Yeah, he got that from me.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah.
Don't you think it's because I think you're expecting pain? You're thinking, oh, if I stretch that way or do that, it has to hurt. I think that's what you initially think in your mind, not that, oh, it doesn't have to hurt. I can.
And the reason, so remember we're on the page right now that pain is a choice. The reason it's a choice, it's a subconscious choice. It's not conscious. You don't have to think about it to make it painful. It's going to be painful because of the way we were all raised. When we're 1 year old and 1.5 years old, we reach up to the stoves and no, hot. Mom yells out. Or look before you cross the street. Right? So we were taught in that way for our own safety because mom loved us. No, she was as scared as bejesus, if you will. Right? So she came from a point of fear every time she was trying to save us. That became our learning modality. Pretty much everyone. Unless you were Arnold Schwarzenegger and you grew up on that island in the movie Twins. Anyway, I took it eventually took it from pain right to pleasure, but as I got older and started processing what was going on, I took it from pain to sensation to now make your determination. Yeah. And it works. It works all the time. But you got to
The one
believe.
thing, I believe it. And the one thing I think though, pain, we can't discount is that sometimes pain means that you're doing something wrong.
Oh,
that,
absolutely.
that something needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
Or you're doing a repetitive motion that shouldn't be repetitive motion.
Right.
And it's in the body. So
And
that's,
pain,
there's a little bit there too.
oh, absolutely.
Same thing in the mind. If you're suffering mentally, then something's wrong too,
Right.
right? I think you're,
Pain is one of the best indicators that can lead you to go deep within. We know that when we're feeling really great, I'm not going to change anything. And I'm going to hold my breath and it lasts a long time, right? But pain is that can be that motivator. Okay, let's start moving since we talked quite a bit. I tried to stop, but you guys kept talking.
It was good. We kept feeding it.
Yeah, so you can either have your legs straight out in front of you or you can have your legs crossed. Start to circle. Reverse direction.
You ate it.
So, Darlene,
Yes.
if we do this on a day this summer where it's rainy, just bring the birds inside with you.
I'll go onto the back porch.
It sounds so pretty. Go side to side. So notice your posture. Lift your sternum. When you come to the side, either side, the arm that's down, are you able to put your forearm down? All the way down to the elbow. And be comfortable. So see if you can do that each time. And then you really reach with that top arm. And you reach with the opposite hip downwards. On Tuesday, Darlene, I'm going to come over to your house.
Okay. That'd be cool.
You're usually not here on Tuesdays, though.
Well, that's only because I've had some power washing jobs on Tuesdays, but I don't have anything set for next week.
Is that right? That's funny.
I want to come too.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, really? All right, come on up. Lean back. Take your hands back behind you. Lift up through your thoracic spine. Okay, now take your legs out in front of you, but open them up. Open them up a little more than mat width apart. Not as wide as you can, but open them up a little more than mat width. And then start to work your forward bend. Try to bring your low back forward. So you're not just rounding, you're extending.
Michael, I'm keeping my arms straight. That's correct, right? Because that would,
Well,
right.
that matters when you pull up and you still, I don't know if you can see where I'm grabbing. I'm grabbing my toes. So if I'm here, look at my arms, I can bend them. But if I was to pull up, to go into extension, to come up as high as I can, I'm going to hold on, my arms are going to straighten out. What I'm trying to do, so you can see my back, when I'm here, I'm going to be rounding a little bit, but as I come up, I'm trying to straighten out, but lean forward from here. Okay, that's hard to do for two reasons. This lower back is tight on a lot of people, and your hamstrings are pulling to prevent you from coming forward. But when you go forward, feel free to bend your arms, but try to keep the back long.
Yeah, because it's so hard for me to tell if I'm rounding or not. So I'm trying not to. So I'm thinking.
So, Nancy, keep your head just like that. When you do this, you tend to do this.
Okay.
Okay? So look forward and down, not up, not forward horizontal to the floor, because then you're doing this with your neck. Now lengthen your neck, lengthen your spine, and work that more. Okay, come on up. Now that we've done that, take your hands back behind you. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. Lift up into your reverse table and touch back down. And then lift up. Now start to move slowly, exhaling back down, touch at the end of the exhale, come all the way up at the end of the inhale. So you're moving in and out of this pose. Now come all the way down. Now, Darlene and Nancy, can you feel that in your arms?
Yes, I can feel it here.
Does it somewhat hurt?
No,
Yeah,
wrist.
but-
Wrist? Okay. What I've noticed from doing push-ups for years and years and years, and then not doing push-ups, and then going back to doing push-ups, is that when I do push-ups and I'm in the mode, I've been doing them for days, weeks, months, every day, my arms don't hurt. They get fatigued as all get out, but they don't hurt. If I stop for a long period of time, weeks or months, and I go to rip off 30 push-ups, which for me should be nothing, right? My arms hurt. They're not just, I don't even get a chance to get fatigued. The hurt is more than the fatigue because they're not used to it. So when you do stuff like this, and in your case, Darlene, it's the wrist. If you do this more and more every day, you won't feel the wrists, right? Yeah. Or Nancy, if it's your arms, you do it every day, you won't feel it as a hurt, you'll feel it as a workout. That make sense to you? Okay, come on in the table pose. Do a few spinal waves. Bring yourself up into down dog. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Then bring your feet right next to each other. Press your heels down, both of them. Take your feet wide as the mat. Press your heels down again. Slide forward into plank. Walk your feet right next to each other. Now, while you're in plank pose, I'm going to tell you a story.
Better be short.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to think about it. Shoot. Hold on. Okay, real quick story is this. Push-up experts say that the best way to do a push-up is with your feet together. Keep it up, Nancy. Those knees. It's with your feet together because your core has to get involved more. All right, bring your knees down. Sit back in child's pose. Come forward into neutral table. Let's thread the needle. Take your right arm out to the right and overhead. And exhale, come all the way through and down. Come on back up to table pose. I love that background music.
Yeah.
Go to the other side. Left arm up and out and through.
Going to the dark side.
Come on back to center. And into down dog. Hey, Darlene.
Yes.
Can you see that my mat?
Oh, you got a round one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You happen to have you think you or Mike can make a wooden lazy Susan?
I think
Because usually
that would be,
when you guys are in down dog and I want to show the other side, I usually go like this.
yeah.
You never see it, but I could just spin myself.
Yep.
All right, back
I'll-
in.
I'll mention that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Now, from here, lift your right leg up behind you. Open up the hip and bend that right knee. And then set it down and go to the other side. Come into child's pose. And then from child's pose, come on up. Now come into down dog and step your right foot forward. And now, you see how my back is rounded? What you want to do is either get your hands on blocks or lower your hips and lengthen your spine. Keeping the back knee is still lifted up. And now set the back knee down, extend the toes, and just stay here for a moment or two, for a few breaths. Now walk your right foot out a little bit to the right. Take your right hand to the inside of that foot. Bend the back knee and reach back. Your left hand and grab it. And then let the hips come forward and down. Release the foot, bring the hand down. Now this is what we're gonna do. From here, take your left hand down, take your right hand to your thigh, take your left hand farther away from that front foot, start to push into that right leg with that right hand and twist towards the right. You can turn the right foot out. Can you straighten the right arm? One that's on that thigh. Can you push that thigh far enough away and lean far enough away that you can straighten out that arm? Press into the inside edge of that left hand that's down on the mat so your wrist isn't bothered. And then release and come back down. Step back and come into a child's pose. Up into your down dog. Step your other foot forward. Keeping the back leg lifted. The left foot is forward. Now start to work the hips lower so you flatten that back and you lengthen it. Now straighten that back leg and reach through that back heel. It's a totally straight leg. It's very active.
Am I up on my toes on my right leg?
Yeah, you're on the
Yeah.
ball. You're on the ball of the foot, not on the toes.
Right, okay.
Let the back knee down and then bend the back knee and reach back and grab. Now you're welcome to reach back with the other hand also if you want.
I'm having trouble on this side.
Yeah, one side's different. Let the hips come forward and down. You feel this stretch?
Yeah, it's tickling, Michael.
All right. Answer. All right, take your right hand down. You move your left foot towards the left edge of the mat. Turn the left toes out. Take your right hand or your left hand to the thigh. Start to push it away, twisting open. See if you can straighten that left arm. And release. Step it back. Come into a child's pose. Into your downward dog. Walk your hands back, hang in forward bend. Walk your hands forward, come into supported side plank with the left knee down. And You're gonna keep that right foot down. Oh, that's too funny. All right, come to the other side. The other side is for cats, not dogs.
Lay down, lay down.
Arlene, she's had enough of this alone time.
Yeah, the bone I gave him was only lasted 15 minutes. Wasn't worth it.
Well, that's a good amount of time, actually.
Yeah, other ones will last longer.
All right, come on back down. Now, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back into a supported side plank, but just watch first. So we'll do the first side, we'll do this, and then the knee that's bent, this guy here that's underneath, I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna cross the ankle on top of the other ankle. Okay? Normally this foot is on the bottom, now we're gonna have it on the top. Okay? You wanna try it, Nancy?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
okay, so I'm here.
Go into your supported side plank. And then you take that leg that's underneath, you stretch it out, see if you can put it on top of the other ankle.
Okay, it is.
Nice job. Now your job is easy, Nancy. Darlene has to fight off a dog right now. All
My
right,
arm is shaking though.
come on down. Nice job.
Ow.
And let's go to the other side. Set up in supported side plank first. And then when you're there, you can move that bottom leg. Try to lift the hips a little bit higher. And come on back down.
It was tough.
Good job. Good job, Nancy. That was really good.
Thanks.
And good job, doggy.
Oy. He
Uh,
does down, not on cue, so.
Okay, great.
Michael, why don't you call him to the camera and see if he comes to you?
What's the dog's name?
Sherlock.
Sherlock. Sherlock. Hey, Sherlock. Come here. Come here, Sherlock. Come on. Come on, Sherlock. Hi.
It confused him so much.
Yeah.
Boy, come here. Come here, Sherlock.
Sherlock doesn't like digital. All right, so we're kneeling, we're stretching out the quads. Now this stretch, which I do a lot, where we're just kneeling, and take your hands back. You shouldn't feel anything for a while because we did that other quad stretch. So this one will start out much easier.
Darlene, do you have bird food out there so they keep coming?
Oh, no, no. This is just how it is.
Nice. Hey, Darlene, before I forget, I need to talk to you afterwards.
Sure.
Okay. All right, come on up. Roll off of your legs. Massage anything, if anything. So have you noticed that there's more traffic?
Yes.
Yeah. Phase 3 really opened it up, I think.
Right.
Yeah. So was I telling you, we're probably going to open Wednesday, July 1st. Tuesday, June 30th is phase 4, if everything goes according to plan. And I want to see if there's any last minute instructions on Tuesday afternoon before I open up Tuesday morning. So I'm thinking Wednesday.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now, come into diamond pose. Diamond pose, here's butterfly, here's diamond pose. Bottoms of the feet are still fully together. Grab onto the ankles or the shins. And now pull your lower back forward so your chest actually lifts up. You actually sit up a little taller. And then start to pull yourself forward. But keep that openness, that extension. Now eventually, as with every forward bend, eventually you round. You go into flexion. But you try to sustain extension as long as possible before going into flexion or rounding.
What if you're starting with rounding?
Then you actually start here. If you start rounding, then you start with the hands back and you just try to back bend sitting vertically. Okay? Now, Darlene, if you want to, you can take your arms underneath and grab your feet from there. This is what you would do in case there's a nuclear war.
Yes.
Go under your desk.
Yes.
That's an interesting bird sound. So now we're in butterfly. You pull them in and you pull them in as closely as you can. You're grabbing on, so again, this is another one, Nancy, if you want, you can bring your hands back. For you, that actually might be easier. And
I don't know if I'm rounding or not. I can't tell when I'm straightening and when I'm rounding.
all right. You generally round from the bottom of the shoulder blades up.
Right.
It's your structure. But it seems to be less than what it was. Okay? So sit up tall, bring that low back forward, whether your hands are forward or hands are behind you. And then start to lean forward or push yourself forward. Darlene, if there's no airplane sound, you can unmute. The birds sound great. We're relying on you for the music. All right, come on up. And straighten the legs for a moment, shake them out, wiggle them, and then come out onto your feet. Is this the first time we're standing up?
Yes.
Holy cow. Golly.
Well,
All right, stand sideways on your mat, take your feet wide. Turn your right foot out. Bend your right knee. Warrior two legs. Then float your arms and come into a reverse warrior. Back into warrior two. Reverse your warrior again. Lengthen your feet apart from each other. Take a wider stance, both of you. Take your right knee and move it to the outside, to the right. Then back into warrior two. Now slide to the right. Place that right arm on the thigh, top arm either straight up or reach it over. Whichever way you chose, straighten that top arm. Now what you're going to do is you're going to straighten your bottom arm, point the finger straight down. Top arm straight up. Lift your sternum. Move your left hip back. Place the forearm on the thigh again. Come on into a reverse warrior. Keep that knee bent. Keep it bent, keep it over the heel. Into a triangle. Lift your sternum, bring your ears back. Now look down, and then start to look forward and look up. Look up towards your fingers, maybe not right on them, but towards them, and then look down again. And look back up. One more time. Look down, look up, come into warrior two. Hands on the hips, turn that right foot in, left foot out. Float your arms. Bend that right knee. Nancy, take a longer stance. Peaceful warrior, reverse warrior. Keep that knee bent. Back to warrior two. Reverse warrior again. Warrior two. Into your Parshvottanasana. Top arm is straight. Forearm on the thigh. Straighten out that bottom arm and reach it straight down. It's not resting on the thigh. You're using your front thigh to work this pose. Take your left arm onto the thigh once again. Come on up to a reverse warrior. Move right into triangle. Look down, forward and up, and again. Keep doing that. Come all the way up to warrior two. Straighten the leg, hands to the hips, turn the foot in. How's that ground, Darlene?
Uneven. Not bad.
More challenging.
Yeah.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a wide leg downward dog, right from where you are. Bend forward, walk your hands forward. Take your ears between your biceps. Slide forward into a wide-legged plank. Back into your down dog. And again. Do 3 more. Walk your feet together into a down dog. Slide forward into plank. Back into down dog. Come on down onto your knees. Come onto your back. Take your legs straight up. Spread your toes. Now bend your knees so they're at 90 degrees. Take your arms and goalpost. Lower your knees to the right without touching. Come back to center, go to the left, and then keep moving side to side. Try not to press your arms down, especially at the elbow. Try to keep them light on the floor. Keep your knees from moving in towards your chest. Keep them straight up. Extend the legs straight up. Behind your calves. Pull your feet towards the tops of your head. Set your feet down on the mat. Then bring your arms alongside the torso. Take your shoulder blades closer to each other. Lift your hips up. Come into a bridge. Your arms overhead. Slowly lower down. Lower your knees to the right.
Michael, I can't see or hear you, so I don't know what we're doing.
We've been talking. We dropped our knees to the right.
Okay.
Knees up to the right. Now we're gonna come back to center and bring them to the other side. Come back to center. Hug your knees in. Set your feet down, mat width apart, and lower your right knee towards your left ankle. Nancy,
Yeah.
both feet are on the floor, mat width apart. And then bring your left knee to your right ankle.
Oh, right ankle. Okay, sorry.
Then bring your knee back up. Bring your knees in. And then open up to Shavasana. Move your head from side to side. Wiggle your toes and move your fingers. Bend your elbows. Draw your knees in. And then roll to your right side. Come on up to a seated pose. Bringing your hands to the heart. Thanks for your practice. Thanks for the music and the entertainment,
Birds, the dog.
the conversation, airplane, the trees, the sky.
It was great.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see
I'll call you.
you. Okay.
Let me leave you.
Finance.
Yeah, Nance is gone. Hey,
Mrs. Bell.
Darlene,
Yes, sir.
have, would you consider teaching in the park on Wednesdays?
Are we doing it at Glen?
No.
Where are we doing it? I was hoping Glen.
Pardon me?
I was hoping not Glen. It's noisy. And I don't.
Really? We're gonna do it right next to my building, behind my building where I live.
Okay.
The reason for that is the town has given me such a hassle with the red tape. It's the first time I contacted them in 9 years. And they have all these stipulations and I said, forget it. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I don't know yet if we're gonna start a Wednesday, but if we do, you wanna do that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We 8 or 8:15, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it would be, we've always, I think in the past, we've had it at 8.
Yeah. 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 I think we'll start getting more people this year. Hopefully, we'll see.
So I want to show you the studio before we
Okay.
open. And I want to show you What are you doing right now?
Gonna have lunch today. I've got a massage at 2:30, believe it or not.
Okay,
I got lunch. I could be over there about 1:30.
no, I'm gonna have, I will have taken off by then.
Okay. How long you going over there now?
Well, it's right out my back door. So,
Oh, there, that studio, the outdoor studio. I thought you meant the other studio.
no, so right out where I live.
Yeah, I know where that is.
So not where you all always walked in the front door, but
Okay,
behind the building, right next to the smokestack.
okay.
You can't miss the smokestack, basically.
Yeah,
I'll use that. And I'm not advertising this a lot. I mean, I'm going to let all the students know, and I'm not on Facebook. I'm saying if you're interested, contact me.
okay.
It's a piece of town property, but they don't use it. It's vacant. They haven't used it in decades. But I can see them stepping in. So I gotta be careful who I tell this to.
Right. Stephanie's supposed to start this Saturday, right?
Right. She's gonna be. She came over here the other day, checked it out. She loved it. She likes it much better than Glen Park.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice, and it's closer to the studio, and you don't get the noise of the falls. Because I was trying to think it's hard when you've got a small group, even a small group, and we were fairly close because of the voice. You're yelling over the falls, right? And if we have to spread everybody out further,
Right.
then it becomes more.
Right.
You know, it's so.
Good point.
No, I think that's a good choice. Yeah, yeah. I was trying to think what we could do, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And if you want to come here on Tuesday, that'd be fun. I got lots of property.
You should have thought of that already.
Well, now that the weather's consistently good.
Well, I'm supposed to be videoing the classes. So I was going to say, years ago, probably 8 years ago, we used to do some of my classes at the UB bike path.
Oh, yeah.
And that was nice. And we go in. So you know how you start near the tennis courts?
Mm-hmm.
And you walk along, and on the right-hand side, there's some detours and there's some pathway, not even like big wide trucks could go through, but no one ever does. Not even the town. It's just like a empty plot of land, and we would go in there.
Yeah.
And have a class. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Intro class. Well, I'm thinking waiting till September, and we're gonna have to do it in the big room.
Right. Exactly. Well, I'm gonna try to move the prop wall into the small room.
Ah,
Because there's no props.
right.
Right. So
If you need help with that, Mike and I can help you too.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I might need that.
Yeah, anytime. That's what we do.
Oh yeah, bring your power washer too. Then what the
I don't wash everything.
Yeah, and I marked off the studio. I've taken the altar out. I'll have a lot more room in that big studio.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
see how if I'm able to get the top wall out and see what.
Yeah, if you put a rope wall on that back wall, we could do rope wall because we'd have enough room.
Yeah, we could. However, the wall is not built for.
Oh, it's not a supporting wall. That's right. Yeah.
And it's none of the walls are a supporting wall, but we had it constructed so that the rope wall itself behind it was reinforced.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, I
You
know.
never know.
right, that's what I wanted to ask you, was the,
Yeah, sounds good. No, I'll take a bike ride by sometime soon and check
okay.
it out. But I know where you're talking about. I've been back there, so.
All you gotta do is find the chimney, and the green right next to the chimney is what, back in there is what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
check it out.
all right, cool. Cool beans.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
All right,
Talk to you soon.
take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.